Welcome back to LCS Challengers. Everything's perfectly fine here.
I got it. I finished chewing my sandwich just in time.
Kangas decided to take a bite of his sandwich right before came back for camera.
I would have stay nutrient dense, during the cast.
I would have thought after watching that game, you could have learned from Dignitas Challengers, take plates faster and, on time and earlier. Might have to focus a little bit more, man.
The tie-in, man. The tie-in. But let's talk about that game before we get to our halftime bit, because I want to go over general thoughts from game number one. Even though it was very one-sided, I loved how you put it, Cubby, in the game. It was clinical from Dignitas.
That was not an easy comp to execute. There is a high bar where you have to win lane hard early. And Dignitas did it. They truly only made, for me, like 1, 2, I'll call it 1.5 mistakes with Diamond getting caught twice. Once with Tomo. That was a big one. Besides that, no gaps in the play from Dignitas as they continue to prove that they are the top dogs that people should be gunning for in NACL.
I think it's funny that the two big narrative notes that we had on our prep document here going into the series was, I'm big right now. We had mid-jungle duo, yes, and then Houdin time? And neither of those things really were the reason for that win. It was just actually going to bot lane. This was such a cool, unique look for Dignitas that kind of went against expectations, even though we know that Tomo and Diamond have also been playing at a very high level. I think it's cool that they're showing that they are willing to play completely through them to get a win.
Yeah, the multiple brains of Dignitas Challengers coming to bear here. I really love to see that one. But now let's get to our halftime bit. Let's have a little bit of fun, and let's learn a little bit about our players, because I've got 2 truths and a lie here for you today. So I've gotten 4 players gathered up from both of these teams, and I've got 3 statements for each player. 2 of them are truths. 1 of them is a lie. Your job is to find out which are which. You guys ready?
All right,
sure. Let's do it.
I feel like we're on a hinge. This is this is like a hinge prompt. No,
this is dangerous, honestly, because some of the information about these players, some of them are wacky folks. All right, for anybody at home who's not aware,
they are indeed. They are indeed.
I bet.
So we're going to start off with Shaden from Evil Geniuses Challengers. So I've got the 3 statements here. He is from outside the United States.
Yes.
He didn't watch Worlds this last year. And he also has a 100% win rate on Talia in competitive. Which one of those is the lie? Again, from outside the United States. He did not watch Worlds this last year.
Do we buzz in? How do we do this? Is this a competition between the 2 of us, or are we working together?
Up to you guys.
He didn't watch Worlds this past year, man.
He didn't watch Worlds this last year?
You didn't buzz in. You didn't buzz in, Cubby.
He didn't watch Worlds this last year, man. I'm gonna use my notes that I already had available to me. Like we always do.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the Talia, and it's 3-0 in his career.
Wow.
So he didn't watch Worlds this year, man. What the hell? Are we better than Canyon, or what's going on?
All right. Are you agreeing, Kangas?
You know what? Sure. Yeah.
Cubby's got the background info.
I don't have his Celia pick ban or win rate notes pulled up and ready to go. So I'm gonna defer to Cubby on this.
All right. Well, Cubby is correct. It is a lie that he did not watch Worlds. He actually got to watch it as part of a Cloud9 program and was part of a stream for them. So it was really cool. But he is from outside the United States. Was born in the Philippines and also has that 100% win rate on Talia. No big deal, right?
It's pretty cool. Also, some fun behind the scenes facts. Another jungler from the Philippines, actually Kenvi in LCS, and they used to be roommates.
Oh,
pretty sick.
With Chad.
Yeah, I was gonna say that jungle house was popping. So we got to move on to the next player, though. I've got Insanity here from Dignitas Challengers. Okay. Now the 3 statements are: has strictly played at the developmental level in NA. Has 1 pentakill in competitive, and has cosplayed as Nunu and Willem.
It's number 1. He played an LCS. Me and Cubby casted his games for the audio pod.
Look at that.
We did.
You learn something new every day. Maybe it's not learn something new.
I have a question. Do we have a photo of the cosplay?
We definitely do. Just hold your horses there, Cubby. All right, you hold your horses. No, but
it's not even a cosplay. It's just he's giving.
It's a shut up.
Like,
shut up.
Piggyback ride or something.
You know what? Is it diamond? I'll reveal it in a second. All right. I want to go through this though. So he has played at the LCS level. He's on Immortals LCS for a year and a half. Has that one competitive pentakill. It was in an Academy in 2019 on Vigar. He also went 9-0-4 in that game. No big deal. And he has cosplayed as Nunu. I will go ahead and bring up the picture now for all of your wonderful eyes. This is the most beautiful Nunu and Willump could ever ask for.
That's is that Hoonin time?
I think that's Hoonin. Yeah.
It's our narratives. No. So love to see that for Insanity, but a little bit of background there. Now let's move on to our third player here. We got Ryoma, the new mid laner, newly acquired, at least, for Evil Geniuses Challengers. Now, was an original member of Jake's Kittens. Any amateur fans out there, gotta love that one. He's not a big fan of anime, which is a bit unfortunate.
Super base.
He also won Proving Grounds in 2021. Which one of those is the lie?
Unfortunately, the lie is he's not a big fan of anime. I believe that he is a big fan of anime. Okay. And we're going to have to give that one to Tommy as Ryoma. Enjoy the anime.
He was correct. I'm not even going to give you a chance, Mr. Kangas. Man, Cubby's got all the info
he's
here.
He's not buzzing. He refuses
He's just not buzzing. Your buzz is broken.
Like,
your buzz is broken.
I have money.
So it was a lie. He is a big fan of anime, likes Naruto and One Piece. Now,
is he a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series? I feel like Kangas just quoted that.
Yeah.
That means that Cubby watches anime too. If he understood that reference, wow.
I will say though, the funny thing is, obviously the funniest fact is that his name comes from an anime that his friend recommended him. Never watched that anime. I still don't think he has. We checked in with him last year. He still hadn't watched it. So I don't know if he has, but he hasn't watched the anime that his name comes from. So let's move on to our last player here. It is none other than XU for Dignitas Challengers, the Elisa Menace from last game, helping out the bot lane. Now, fourth most played champ in competitive play is Nidalee. Started off playing in collegiate and amateur at the same time, and his favorite food is salad. So those are the three. We got fourth most played champ competitively is Nidalee. Started off playing competitive with collegiate and amateur, and his favorite food is salad. Which one?
I buzzed in, and now that I know we can cheat, I'm looking at Leaguepedia. I don't see Nidalee in fourth place.
I was also gonna just
I don't think
say
it's that.
Nid. It is.
Oh,
yeah.
It is? Oh,
no. That's the lie. That's the lie.
True.
Wait,
no, it's true. It's actually true.
It is true. I was going to say, you guys got duped. I got you. Ha ha.
Really? I haven't seen him play Nid in a long ass time.
It's been a long time. But it is in competitive holistically, it is his fourth most played champion. He actually has a decent win rate on it.
Outside of Diana and Sejuani are actually higher, but it's looking pretty high.
It was pretty cool. So the lie was that his favorite food is salad. We ain't like no salad gamers over here, all right? I don't care what you say, Kangas.
Salad.
His favorite is sushi and ramen. Those are his favorite foods.
That makes more sense.
Pretty
He's
base.
Definitely more carnivore. He's more carnivore.
I will say, I don't think anyone's. I love salad. I don't think anyone's favorite food is salad. Like you gotta go comfort food of some kind.
I guess it depends on the salad, maybe. Because I feel like you can get pretty expansive with salads.
Can we throw macaroni salad into this?
No.
No. Okay.
No. But anyways, that was our two truths and a lie segment, as we did get to learn a little bit about the players. Did you guys learn anything new today from any players? Cubby was just on aces here, apparently, on the day. He's carrying you so far, Kate.
I was, if that was on Hinge, I would have had would have been doing well.
Would have had a couple matches based on that one.
Oh my goodness! Yep. We'll check back in with that later. Cubby, I love you so much.
If you're going in with the confidence telling a Hinge match that their favorite food is not salad, that's a lie. I don't know. That might.
Don't start sharing your OP.GG, Cubby. Don't start sharing that.
I think my next response to Hinge will be like, do you have a Leaguepedia page? See if I can navigate the two truths and a lie.
Oh my gosh!
Might be it.
It might just be the ticket. But let's move into
it's actually a red flag if you
it is a little bit. Dignitas Challengers versus EG Challengers. We're moving this train right along. EG Challengers had a very rough time in this game number 1. We'll see if they can pull it back in game number 2. Guys, let's see what happens.
Thank you, Ms. El Cubby. I don't think that you want to be giving out your red flags the week before Valentine's Day. I think that you're actually supposed to try to show your best foot instead of your worst. So,
you know what? It's a family member's birthday on that day, so Valentine's Day is always good. Wish him a happy birthday.
Yeah, so every year when you don't have a partner,
yep, that's my cope.
Have that be your excuse. That's good.
So let me cope. We'll see if EG copes. They did swap on the sides, banning out some of the OP junglers. We're gonna keep the train on moving. Kind of like what Mazel was saying. And I think that's necessary after what we saw in the last game. But I will say I expect a first pick Caitlyn here from Dignitas.
Okay, that. On the blue side, they are banning the Ashe away.
They've been playing it high.
That is something that can kind of counter the Caitlyn in a way. It offers some of that poke, and then the ultimate, obviously kind of scary. Smoothie was fighting a couple there, so there we go. It's banned away. Evil Geniuses Challengers say we are not dealing with that again.
Well, a lot of marksmen are up. Like, we could see the Lucian Nami trade. I still expect Varus to come out, actually, from Tomo, because there has been such an emphasis on lane priority in the bot lane for Dignitas Challengers, and for good reason, as Tomo and Diamond have been cashing in much like they were able to in that last game in a lot of our NACL games early in the season.
Hear me out now. Caitlyn's gone, but Varus Jhin is still up. If they wanted to go Jhin support for Diamond. Evil Geniuses might take the Varus, though.
We'll see. I think that Jin's actually been Mobility's best champion. Mobility actually did okay in that last lane. It's really tough for Jhin to play, but they played defense well. So I'm curious to see if they will take the Jhin to actually flex that, because it would be Jhin support with Smoothie. I know that someone's been working on the OQs quite a bit. Summer has been very vocal about thinking that Jhin support's rather strong. So I am curious to see if that might be something that EG pulls out, but we do have Dignitas now with the opportunity to counter one of the bot laners that EG is already showing in the Varus.
Yeah, but I like that they're not showing the support, because if Dignitas Challengers lock in double range here, then Evil Geniuses could put Smoothie on something that can engage, that will also be able to roam and help out Shaden, because on the Graves, it looks like it's back to more of this Shaden carry style, so it's Lucian Nami locked in for Dig Challengers.
Ooh, and we have the rise for Ryoma. This is one of Ryoma's best champions for me historically. I think that Ryoma is a great player, but he's really, really good when it comes to playing people that, can surf the map, as the players like to call it. Can jump around and affect lanes faster than others. When he gets priority, the way that he hovers in fog is really strong and a very high level of play from Ryoma. He's always been really good at the rise. Excited to see if he can pull it out today. And now curious if they actually get rid of the Cassio, as we see EG banning some of the AD answers to pair with the Elise. But Cassio is a pick that a lot of players have been using to counter Rise, and I think is okay into both Graves and Rise early.
Yeah, the Miasma can really slow down Graves' mobility, and it also has pretty good trading patterns into the right. So if he's going for the combo, you just press ult. Well, he's looking at you while he's throwing out all those abilities, so fairly easy to counterplay that. But it's Udyr mid, because they know Insanity likes to pilot that too, so that means that there are still counters available for Insanity.
Now, there's going to be a choice here for EG on 4. As GP was taken away, that tells me that Hoon actually wants the Jax in the top lane, that they're banning out GP. So EG have the choice. They can take something like Cassante now, if they want to deny that from Hoon, or play the Cassante Jax matchup, or they can take support and give Soul counter.
I imagine it's going to be the counter pick for the top lane here.
Support Varus?
I imagine so.
Ezreal's not like... No, Ezreal's not going support. That'd be that's not good. That'd not be good. It's got to be support Varus.
I mean, like, unless it's a crazy meta, like Ezreal jungle, Graves top. We've seen those in those spots, but unlikely. Unlikely right now, which means we're getting the full gauntlet of 80 carries in the support role. We've gone through the Caitlyn, the Ashe, the Jhin, now Varus being put down there. That is kind of crazy.
Wow. Okay, I gotta say, EG, it's all in on the bot lane, and we'll see if it can pay off. At Dignitas, they ran the game with the Kate Varus, but this surprises me. As I will say, Varus, he has like good base damage, The Umbral Glaive does synergize well with him. He brings some CC, some lane control. You can reduce the healing in Nami, which is nice. But much like the Caitlyn, tough to pilot. So we'll have to see if this is the call here, as EG have a triple marksman comp going up against Dig. And Dig did deny that Cassante, so expecting a potential Jax here from Soul.
And I would be a little more confident if the nameplates were swapped and it was Diamond piloting the Varus, but with it being Smoothie here, I don't feel Smoothie's been excelling in the ranged marksman in the support role, so this is bold.
I will say I have really liked Smoothie's play this split. I think especially in the Heimer and Lux, he was playing very strong. I've liked his Ashe a bit as well. That last lane didn't go their way. That was tough. But we will see if Smoothie can step up in this game and try and answer what has been one of, if not the most powerful bot lanes that we've had in Challengers so far in Tomo and Diamond on Dignitas.
But it's Soul now piloting the Jax into that Cassante matchup, so getting Hoon off of that. We might actually see a little more action topside this time around. Hoon ended the last game 0-0-0 on Cassante with the Lucian Nami and the Azir. Maybe more focus on team fighting this time around. I feel like Dignitas will not win the game the same way that they did game 1. It's not going to be the same blueprint for success.
For me, I think all eyes are on Elise early. It's an Elise comp, so it has to be. But also, Ryoma. You have a double marksman bot lane. Ryze has windows to roam early. Can he go affect the bot lane and make it hard winning for EG? Definitely something to look out for.
All right, boys. On the Dignitas side, follow the draft plan. We'll go 2-0 today. The social media manager believes in Dignitas Challenger, but do you? Make sure that you're spamming DIGC or EGC, depending on who you are rooting for, who you think is taking this game. If Dignitas 2-0, that means that they will end week 3 in sole possession of first place. It is not possible for them to drop that spot.
And I gotta say, that last game was rather convincing on the side of Dignitas as to why they are our top dogs. Something to look out for in the bot lane here. Mobility running a PTA on Ezreal, so that is a much bigger focus on the lane with that keystone. So we will see if that pays off. And looks like Shaden sticking around the top side to try and defend a potential ward going down on Raptors. But now we'll start actually with a late invade here. We'll see if they pop the sweeper to take out this trinket ward in the river, as they will spot it. And they're going to continue to commit to this play. So a little bit of a late start on the red, but Shaden going for the split map early with the bot lane to support.
Problem being, though, bot lane...
Wait a minute.
Prio is pretty big.
They're losing minions to the turret already. Dig are hard shoving this. EG needs to sprint back to lane. They're going to get harassed on the way in. This is tough because the minions will attack them as well.
Okay, so I liked when Evil Geniuses play through Shaden. This is that to an extreme right now, though, because they're sacrificing their bot lane in order to do it in a meta that is so important.
Oh my god.
To have a strong bot lane. And Shaden's not even going for an early gank or anything here. I thought maybe he would just run straight in to help them.
Oh no.
He's going for a deeper invade.
And he only got one creep on the first wave. I gotta say, I don't know if they missed CS either. That was possible. That would be huge if the EG bot lane did miss CS on that first wave. But this very heavy prio lane that we have in the double marksman can't really do that now, given the start that we have from Shaden and EG. So more of an emphasis on the Shaden, our focus going into this match.
Oh, and Smoothie's taking an aggressive trade right here, not winning it in the slightest. Ignite and heal both down. Cleanse and heal down on the side of Dignitas. And at the end of the day, it's a little more even. But still, I think you're happy for Dignitas bot lane as XU actually finds out Shaden, throws out the cocoon, hits level 3 before Shaden, despite the invade from the jungler of Evil Geniuses Challengers, and he's sticking around.
Yeah, so you can see Shaden did 3 camps, but he's level 2. This is part of the changes they made the jungle, so XU's going to hang around and try and stop him getting 3 from the wolves. He does get it from the small one.
Oh, flash! Cocoon from XU. Shaden will need to get over this wall. Jumps over.
Oh, Shaden's playing this very well.
I didn't see who got that.
Ryoma can flash on XU. They can flash on XU here.
Ryoma, they're looking for it. Repel used early. XU's trying to get out here, but the damage might just be there. Shaden goes forward. First blood with the auto from the Graves.
Well done from Ryoma. The TP back to make sure that they could pull that play off. It will hurt Ryoma's lane a bit, but that's well worth it. Again, as you mentioned, Kangas, the game plan here, a big focus on Shaden given the starts from each of our teams. And Shaden being able to get the kill on Exu there, he is off to the races and has set that Elise behind that was so key in game 1 for Dignitas.
And even though he was down in level early as, top lane trading aggressively against each other, don't think a kill will come through here. He did take away 2 camps, so Exu won't have those bot laners. Flash is through on both bot laners for Evil Geniuses Challengers. They are getting hard punished again because they're trying to set up Shaden so much.
Yeah, that wave is frozen, so Tomo can base, and it's fine. I think it will slowly push back. It's going to stay there for Dig. And Tomo, again, this guy, he's been laning so well with Diamond in this early season. They continue to be, I think, the bot lane to beat in Challengers so far. That's saying a lot, especially, most fans would think Unforgiven and Destiny would be that. On the side, 100 Thieves, of course, they did get in a little bit later. Tomo Diamond have been playing together for a couple years now, given their time in FlyQuest. But they've been dominant this season, and that's been a big difference in this series.
And it goes back to that level 1. The invade put Mobility and Smoothie so far behind. Shaden will have to pay it back because every lane is struggling. From top to mid to bot, EG are losing the lanes. It will come down to Shaden be the carry on this Graves.
Smoothie's spotted here, actually, going by. Actually, he's going to try and cut him off. He is spotted in that rush. Oh, no.
That's a lot of damage out of Mobility. He's just going to die.
Yeah.
They can get right onto... the repel. He was just out of range, I think. Or maybe Exu misclicked on a minion. Either way, Mobility barely lives as Insanity goes for an aggressive trade now onto Ryoma. He's got a lot of damage here. One more tick. Shaden's nearby,
he used
though.
E.
He's got to be careful. Yeah, he's got the flash. Positioning top side. He should be out.
Exu's going to be spotted in mid too. I think Shaden's going to help group push, but now that Exu's here, Ryoma has to respect the Elise. So, a little tricky here early. Oh, Hoon, he has 6.
Going aggressive on to Soul right now. Pulls under the turret, takes one hit. Soul with the outplay, punishing Hoon's over aggressiveness.
That was very aggressive from Hoon, R'ing himself under the turret, and Soul, he takes the freebie there. Good flash follow and a much needed play for EG on the map, because you stated, Kangas, bot lane's getting blasted here to help Shaden start early, and due to some of the good play from Dignitas, and that will bleed into a dragon.
Dignitas using their lane priority for the objectives. Oh, Smoothie.
You don't have sums.
Right into the brush. Gets a lot of damage onto Tomo. Mobility trying to get something here, but Diamond will claim that kill. Shaden just a second too late to impact the play.
I am surprised that EG didn't use any Ezreal Qs to check that brush, and also given that there was just a positive play on the top side and Shaden crossed, was spotted, you would assume that XU would respawn bottom.
Yeah.
So I think EG, that's a pretty big mistake there from the bot lane, and it's going to cost them dearly as that CS differential, it's now 30 in favor of Tomo and Diamond.
Let's take a look at the gold, if the observers can pull that up for us, because Tomo's going to be massively ahead. Yeah, 12
already.
The saving grace right now is that mid lane is holding and Soul is holding. That misplay from Hoon was so big for Soul getting back into this, but speaking of plays, Insanity goes aggressive onto Ryoma. Ryoma barely gets out. He's chunked. He's low with flash available, and XU cannot catch up in time, so Ryoma's fine for now, but will he get dove?
No, good play from each mid laner, honestly, as the phase rush does get Ryoma out of there. But Insanity knowing that he can trade heavily in this matchup, and Ryoma down heavily in this matchup as well. And we'll see if Shaden can actually impact the mid here. Insanity does have flash. As you can see, Shaden wrapping around will be spotted, so the zombie ward paying up big there for XU and Smoothie. He's split. He doesn't have flash. He's just dead.
Yeah, he's just going to go down here. Tomo actually decides to peel back because the bubble goes onto Mobility, and Smoothie gets out. The E slow was enough.
Smoothie doesn't really have a home right now. He's doesn't know where to go, and Soul is actually getting pinched a bit.
Unfortunately, the Verisport not working great. That was a good all-out, but Soul does have a backup plan, but he says, why go out when we can go in? Shaden jumps the wall, and they take down Hoon again.
And again, much needed here for the side of EG, as the bot lane is not going well, so Soul having 2 big plays now, that's giving EG something in this early game, and they're going to use that to pick up the Herald. So Dignitas, they will be able to respond bot. Mobility did use his Arcane Shift to get out of here. Will not have it back in time. XU is here.
Smoothie's going to get hit by the Cocoon. XU's got all the damage. The burst in. That's heal out from Evil Geniuses. to save Smoothie's life. Mobility's going to have to try and catch this wave under turret.
6 hit by Diamond here, too. So Smoothie, he's about to get his flash back up. They should be tracking the flashes on each of our members here for EG. We'll see if we get fancy with anything tidal wave wise. But Exu actually going to return to his camp. So EG, they have lost 3 plates early, but they are surviving and able to at least get the farm under their tower.
And you can see the idea behind the Varus Ezreal. They're landing a little bit of poke onto Tomo. And even the E getting the Grievous Wounds in there will prevent some of the Nami healing, but it's just not enough. They haven't poked out Tomo to an extent where then they can look for an all-in. It's been themselves getting kind of poked out because of mispositioning. So bot lane further falls behind. Shaden and Soul keeping EG in this. It's about the top half of the map for the side of Evil Geniuses going forward.
We are indeed back to the Shaden comps, as Shaden has the most CS on his team. And he is going to do his best to try and make things work on Graves, which, to be fair, he's been doing a good job so far. Part of 2 positive plays in favor of EG. He's 1-0-1 and trying to keep this game close. I think that, again, the scaling of this game, it is a little bit tricky. I actually favor the scaling of Dignitas overall, given the Lucian Nami and the Azir, even with the Elise in their comp. I don't believe in this support Varus.
Really?
Yeah, you can call me a hater here.
Yeah. How dare you? Don't you know you can play any AD carry and support out? Twitch support. I've seen it happen.
I actually like the AP Twitch support better than this Varus support.
You know what?
That does way too much damage.
I'm happy you ended that sentence better than the Varus and not just, I like the AP Twitch support. Because I was worried that's where you were going with it, and I was about to be upset with you. But
it's not healthy for the game, but it is part of the game. So, you can make it work.
Well,
all in number 3.
Again, trying to get to safety, though, as Soul doing a lot of work here in this 1v1. Let's look at the bot side, though, again here, because it looks like everyone's converging down. Remember when I said that for Dignitas, it was not going to be the same win condition? It wouldn't be the bot lane this time around. Might have been a little wrong there, because it does seem like this is going to be their win condition yet again.
Soul's out of mana, so he's going to have to base in TP here. But, yeah, the win con, very much Elise comp, play through bot, take all the early dragons, and we will see if Dignitas can get the next dragon successfully. They definitely have the bot pressure for it, but EG is actually rotating. Look at Ryoma. Look at Ryoma.
Ooh, there's a lot of damage. It's not just Ryoma, though. It's Ryoma carrying a shotgun on his back. Tomo gets to safety, but Diamond, there's just no way! He trades Smoothie before going down. That is huge for Dignitas.
It is a flash, so he gets some gold back. We'll see if EG can actually contest this dragon. It looks like they just want plates and want to funnel Shaden.
Get the gold onto the Graves is the name of the game. Exu and Tomo are here. They don't have sums on Lucian, though, so Tomo has to play very safe, very respectfully, and Hoon just teleported top lane, so they don't have any backup coming. EG actually get a huge shove here. That's 4 plates into their pockets.
And I think that's a good play from EG. I'm fine with them dropping Dragon to get some much-needed gold in the pockets, especially of Ryoma and Mobility, who have been set behind in this early game as well as... Okay.
Soul runs mid lane onto Insanity, and Smoothie with the roam. Chain of Corruption sets up Soul to get the kill.
Love the flash there from Smoothie, and with mid off the map, Shaden could try and posture around this dragon. He is going to reset, so he will be back out on the map before Insanity. And again, we'll see if EG tries to contest this dragon. As the clear win con for Dig, it's early pressure into stacking these dragons. We will see if that can be successful. But as we get a replay, again, Ryoma, we credited him when he's able to impact the map on these mid laners. Exu did have the jump, but a little bit too late. Kumbo burns all of his sums to get on out. And Diamond burns his sums to make sure that Smoothie does not get out.
Also, just beautifully played from Diamond, throwing out the Nami ult to knock up Shaden. Yeah. As soon as he's up, the bubble to follow up. Tomo probably would have died there if Diamond didn't land all that CC onto both Ryoma and Shaden. So, just aces from Diamond so far in this best of 2 on the Caitlyn, carrying that laning phase, and now on the Nami, performing exceptionally well. But EG, they're on the dragon, and Dignitas don't look like they have an easy answer right now.
And I believe that Nami sold boots to hit Mandate. So the Mandate's real big for the Lucian. Now it is important that Shaden, he got the dragon. He's 2 levels up on this Elise. So again, this funnel Shaden strategy, we'll see how much he can get out of it. But he is massive right now, Kangas. That is a Gorge Drinker and a Hex Drinker in his inventory. The only person close to that item breakpoint is Tomo.
There's a reason that Shaden was agreed between all three lists, between you, Joshi, and Beatdown, the best player in this league right now in the first couple of weeks of play, showing that if you give Shaden the resources, he can deliver. He will give these kinds of performances.
It is hard to deny what Shaden has been putting out on the Rift. It's been impressive in his second split competing at this level, in a new home too, playing with two different mid laners. Similar strat here is we do have the Shaden Graves. We'll see how much he can get out of it again, as he's gonna at least try and get Insanity out of mid. I think the true play though here for EG, maybe we start to sniff around the Elise red buff. We have a bit of a choice. Do we want to play through bot, or do we want to go to top side where the Herald is up? And Shaden, knowing that he has Soul as a strong point up there, might be looking to poke around this Herald.
EG have sent Smoothie up there as well. Both supports posturing to the side of the Rift right now. We might even get a full 5v5. Everybody's going for this right now. Ram even backed and coming in, so EG will have one member a little late compared to everyone else, so Dignitas get the start.
I will say, if Tomo is here, I think this is advantage Dignitas given the control. Look out for Tomo. He has access to the mandate from Diamond. So whatever Diamond throws will be big here for Dig. That's a nice poke coming out of mobility.
They're approaching. Insanity jumps over the wall, has the ultimate available, and secured by
Insanity!
Rather stole, but Insanity with the scoop onto EG. Beautifully set up, and now Shaden's got no one in front of him, nobody to hide behind, but he's still performing! Shaden almost gets out. Tomo chasing him down, mobility over the wall. Only himself and Soul left alive. Tomo sidesteps there a little bit, trying to stop the backs now. Let Soul back. Actually, oh, Soul stopped his. If you let Soul back, and then you can just easily kill mobility, they might be going for both. Soul has the counter-strike. Mobility under the turret. Hoon approaches. Takes a turret shot. Mobility actually plays that pretty well, so they get away.
Okay, EG, they get the objective, but look at all the gold that went to Dignitas in the pre-play and post-play. Pre-play, Tomo shoved the bot wave and got that bot outer turret for Dignitas, and then post-play, Insanity, who made the big scoop and score, goes straight mid, takes the mid outer. So Dignitas are now up 3k gold out of this, and again, I mean, the escape from Shaden was almost insane here, but look at this play from Insanity over the wall. This is such an easy scoop as Ryoma and Smoothie each drop into the middle of the team. Smoothie goes down instantly, and Insanity is able to hold strong here. Almost takes down Ryoma. And this escape from Shaden was almost crazy, as Xu barely lives. And EG just a little bit split. Again, this team fight execute really good if Ryoma can get scoop and scores like that.
They have a strong team fight core. We mentioned that in Pick Band. We mentioned that after Tomo got the early lead, and we got to see that in that fight. Shaden almost making it work. Soul didn't die either, so the two strong members of Evil Geniuses Challengers right now are trying their absolute best in these moments. They're going to have to make something work, though, with the Herald. It looks like it's already down. No, it's still in Mobility's inventory. So Evil Geniuses Challengers, if they can get a big play and then push with the Herald, maybe they can try and equalize after that last play.
And at this point of the game, too, you can see Insanity really starting to get the shove on the rise, as Azir is favored in this matchup in the long haul. So Rise being kept down is good. And Dignitas, they did drop that one dragon, but with Chemtech Soul on the Rift, they're trying to make sure that no other go to the way of EG, as they've done a nice job getting control early. And Tomo does have that mandate Gale Force ready.
Tomo with the instant cleanse. Smoothie from Fog of War throughout the Chain of Corruption. Nicely done from Tomo as he was looking to just assassinate Shaden. Oh, Xu's actually got a lot of damage there too. Dragon's coming up here shortly. Dignitas getting the early poke down to try and establish control.
Yeah, again, Dig have done a really nice job of making sure that this river is owned by them. And Soul had to come down to support this attempted push, but oh boy!
Oh, insanity! That was crazy! just pulls the trigger onto an unready Evil Geniuses, scooping in 3 of them, and that is 3 dead. Ryoma trying to run away from Tomo, and he's picked off as well. The mid laner for Dignitas showing up huge.
Insanity, that was so big as all the tools that could stop Azir were down. Insanity sees that, so easy for him to scoop and score. Everyone from EG is now Hoon. As Kasante's been damn good this split, he's looking to pick up another solo kill here on Soul.
Got the ult. He still has the all-in. Oh, Soul gets out.
Oh
what
my
a
god.
play, though.
Give me a replay. Give me a replay of that scoop from Insanity. The things that can stop Azir on the side of EG, it is the Rise and it is the Chain of Corruption from Smoothie. Those tools were down. Rise wasn't here. Chain of Corruption was used. So Insanity, them going for this wave. This is nice and easy. The slow from Tomo helps, but... I mean, that was just everyone. They got the flash at Ezreal, the only person able to dodge out on that. And Insanity, that fight was over before it started because the play from Insanity, really well done by the mid laner Dignitas.
Those are the kind of plays that we will have highlights of for the rest of the split. Whenever we talk about Insanity, you know that those are the kinds of moments that we're referencing, and even the Herald doesn't get anything for Evil Geniuses afterwards.
And I think it's also worth mentioning, I know the meta is a little bit different right now, but like Azir is very strong. We have seen a lot of bans focused on the bot lane, but Insanity did not get access to Azir last year. Like, it was a very common ban against Dignitas Academy and against Insanity for him not to have Azir, not just because he lanes it well, plays it well individually, but because he makes plays like that against someone that's very vocal within this team. Azir allows for you to dictate the pace of the game a lot of the times, and Insanity does that so damn well.
And now it's Evil Geniuses trying to figure out how do we come back in this game. 6K in the hole at 20 minutes. They're fishing for these Fog of War Chain of Corruptions from Smoothie and not landing, so they are in a hurt zone currently. They have denied 1 dragon from Dignitas, so that soul is not going to be taken this next drag. Maybe they have some time to work with, but we've already mentioned the struggle of even trying to scale against a comp like Dignitas, so I don't even know if that's like a safe bet for Evil Geniuses.
I mean, the one scaling element is Ezreal, right? Ezreal can be huge, but Ezreal was put so far behind this game. It is really difficult. Shaden is playing against some melees, as Graves kind of scales against however many melees he's playing against, so it's not like it's brutal for Shaden, but that leads a lot more difficult to execute again. Oh boy, the cocoon!
Put him in a straitjacket. He's Insanity, everybody. Gets the Soraka emote in there as well. Shaden under turret just gets hard chugged, and this could be a trap now. Dignitas, they don't go for the long flank. Insanity is playing out of his mind.
They're going to look. They don't have Chains of Corruption yet, but they're waiting for it.
As I say it, Diamond. Oh, again! The knock-up in the bubble, and okay, Smoothie trades one back. Insanity's down. Shaden lives. Smoothie's life for Insanity is worth it 9 times out of 10.
So that was a trap being set up because Chains of Corruption were coming off cooldown. So once it gets off cooldown, Smoothie's able to wrap up Insanity. I respect the trap from Shaden again. Really well played by Diamond to land the bubble even after the ult, as Shaden was trying to escape that. But the trade for Insanity is worth it. It still is Dignitas with full control, Kangas.
It's going to come down to a couple more plays like that for Evil Geniuses if they want to come back.
Yeah, it's good to say.
Their plight does not stop there. They're going to have a long hill to climb. Still 7K behind. Dignitas on the verge of ending their week with that 2-0 in sole possession of first place, and they are playing like a first place team. That brush check from Insanity aside, he's really living up to the name. He was feeling himself right there, but even then, they're still in such a dominant position that they are looking like the best team that we have right now with performances like this, showing the breadth of styles that they can pull out.
I do think it really speaks to a lot of these players, like how strong they are and have been in NACL historically. I mean, Tomo Diamond always have been competitive. Diamond's won so many splits of Academy looking back in history. Insanity being one of our top players in Proving Grounds last year. And also, and Axio is someone that, we feel like was put in LCS too early due to circumstances from that River trade. But still someone that we're pretty excited to see continue to develop. And it really feels like he is the youngest member of Dignitas. And, you know, he's been continuing to take strides in the right direction as Diamond's caught. Where is he?
Almost got the damage onto Smoothie. Now Ryoma's here. Shaden joining as well. Insanity's going in for another scoop. Hasn't used it yet. Just doing the damage. They don't need to throw out the Azir ultimate. Double kill to Tomo. Soul teleports in, but doesn't have the team to back him up now. Sidesteps the Cocoon. Hoon wrapping around Shaden. Providing the support, providing the backup. All Out doesn't pull Shaden over the wall, but Insanity saved the Emperor's Divide for this moment. Shaden is down.
It's all Dignitas, man. It's not the same early game, but it is the same gold lead in this game as it was last time. As Dig at 7.5k gold in their favor, a purpled up Baron suit. And you were teasing it earlier today, Kangas. If Dignitas 2-0, they would be guaranteed to finish week 3 in first place. We are almost at the halfway point of the season for Dignitas. As again, you play 15 teams in best of twos. They're gonna be 12-2 after the first 14 games of the season. That's a hot start, man.
That is a fantastic start, and arguably they've already gotten through a lot of their, tougher opponents by that point. As we're looking forward to their next schedule, like Wildcard, 100 Thieves, and Team Liquid
Tomo
are some of their next ones. But yeah, Tomo.
Jeez.
Big damage to start that off. And I love that Insanity doesn't just throw out the Emperor's Divide immediately as we come back to live in Shaden's head. But Insanity held it for as long as possible, knowing that it is worth more later.
I gotta say, man, Tomo as well has been a really pleasant surprise for me this split. I feel like Tomo, last split, I saw him getting caught on mid waves, making mistakes that I wouldn't expect for someone that was in his second year of NACL. Now that he's in his third year, Tomo's been dominant this season as a marksman. Really good to see out of him, because we know that he's shown this play in the semi-pro level before. It's just some of the consistency, not seeing it always. We've seen it every game from him so far this split, and I really want to see that continue as we get to the second half of the split for Dignitas.
Final push now for Dig to close out the weekend in first place. Baron empowered minions pushing in onto the Nexus turrets. And Evil Geniuses just don't have the comp to deal with this. They hard funneled into Shaden to the detriment of their bot lane. And Dignitas say, hey, if you feed Tomo, we'll end a game. As Tomo, the hero right now, along with the rest of the squad, just blows up Smoothie with a single culling. And that pretty much summarizes the game. The turrets are down. The Nexus will follow. Dignitas Challengers ending week 3 in first place.
Huge week for Dig as they cement themselves, to me, as the top team and the people to beat in Challengers League. And I gotta say, they're doing it with a bit of flair. I mean, the Kate support, I think they executed that better than anyone else that we've seen, as well as, some of the comps. I think that them playing towards bot, the Udyr mid, they are putting personal player preference on the Rift. It's performing well. But also, showing they can play the meta and play towards this bot lane as Tomo and Diamond have just been dominant.
This series was mostly about the bot lane. It was XU going bot, controlling that area, Tomo getting fed, Diamond playing out of his mind. But throughout the season so far, we've seen games where Hoonin Time shows up and he's able to carry. We've seen the Insanity performances. The whole team is coming together, and it is so exciting to watch this core right now. But that's a 2-0 for them, Cubby. With that said, we're going to send it to a short break before we're back with an interview from Mazel with one of the victorious players after this.
Hey guys, I'm Insanity, and I played Udyr mid last week in the NACL, and I'm going to rate some casters' performances for when they're first timing it. Joshi starting. Don't like the runes if he's playing mid. I don't know about the cleanse. Not bad. I like the invade. I mean, he has Rengar and pretty strong bot lane level 1. Gotta use W more often though when he's trading like this. Does he kill him? I think Udyr wins these. Yep, of course Udyr wins these. If you get Elder on this champion, it's so messed up because Demonic actually keeps re-proccing the Elder buff. So it'll just keep doing infinite damage to them. Not a bad game. See what Rafa's cooking up. So for this, Phase Rush is not a bad page. I think Conditioning and Overgrowth is better, but I do think this is a matchup where I think Udyr is really OP in. Well, where's the Udyr, man? Yeah, I mean, this whole team's asking that right now. I mean, he is 1-3, so he really is channeling my energy. This looks winning. Surely. Except, actually, he doesn't have demonic, so he's actually kind of just useless. Not the worst gameplay I've ever seen. Like, it's not bad, especially if you're first timing the champion. The game goes this long, it's not the most fun time. Let me see his runes. Futures Market, oh my. I don't know about that, bro. No, W, yes. Yeah, good. Well, he knows how to live at least. Oh. I guess he's just a goat. This was good, actually. He used his E. So he doesn't get slowed or feared. Oh, he's just beating him down with the bear stance. I can respect this. This guy's just sending a message. Oh, it just ends? Just ends like that? Oh, okay. Magical. Let's see. Divine Sunderer. He's 1-6. He's 1-6. I respect this. He's soaking so much pressure right now. Now he can just E out. Oh. Run! He's out, he's out. Press W. Oh, so close actually. He's 2-11, but he's carrying. No offense to his team, but it's all Udyr's. All because of Udyr. He won him the game. He kept the mental strong with the positive energy. I mean, honestly, the champ's not as easy as it seems. Like, it seems kind of like super straightforward. Like, oh, I'm just gonna run at this guy. But I don't know. You don't really know his damage. You just need to test his limits and figure out what he's actually strong at and what skirmishes he's good at. Oh, that was pretty entertaining, though.
Welcome back, everyone, and we are here with the Verizon post-game interview, and I've got ZZ Legendary from Dignitas Challengers after a pretty legendary performance today. You had a bit of a nap time, though, man. How was your sleep? Are you feeling rested?
Yeah. For those who didn't see our picture on Twitter, our draft plan was pretty sleepy. Unfortunately, our plan to pick Udyr did not happen. They respected it a little bit too much, you know. But we had fun with the draft anyways.
Makes sense to respect it after what we saw happen on the Rift the last time around. But you get to take that win against the old squad. How'd you feel about it? And how'd you feel about the fellas' performance today? Yeah,
of course. Well, I mean, I have a little bit of lore with EG, you know. I was with them last year, and now I'm with Dig. So, of course, taking the 2-0 versus them, like, feels good. Respect to them, though. Good org. Very happy with the boys' performance today, to be honest. The game one we had, I think, was our cleanest game on stage so far. The guys are really smurfing it up, and the improvement is showing, so we're really happy with that one.
Yeah, speaking about that, you were telling us earlier, 0 towers both games. Actually insane. The game one, incredibly clean, even had Cubby tweeting about it. And was that just like game plan from Outright? Like, did you guys just execute the game plan you had outright?
I'm not gonna leak too much, right? But we don't really go into load screens saying like, "Yo, guys, give them 0 towers these games," you know.
Of course.
It's more so like I think the guys are really have good synergy together, and we kind of know how to sync our tempo and how to play the map out, right? Like we know which space we want to play for, and we're just consistently good at playing for vision properly, right? So if the enemy team has less vision and they have less space on the map, well, we have more info, we can make better decisions, right? So that's kind of how it works for us.
So how did you get the mind right going into game 2 after such a stranglehold performance in game number 1?
Well, to be honest, like we did make some slight mistakes in game 1 as well, right? So basically what happens is, well, good job, boys. You know, that was our cleanest game so far, but at the same time, we still have some little things to work on, right? So as much as I like praising the guys and giving them credits for what they're doing well, I still have to remind them that we have some hiccups, right? And if we let those hiccups go by unnoticed, it can bite us, right? So I just keep them focused while giving them some positive feedback, right? As they deserve it, sorry.
I love to hear it. Now, you guys are first place. Just how far do you think you guys can go? I mean, this team is looking stacked, ZZ.
Yeah, I mean, we want to take it all the way for sure, right? I mean, to be fair, Cloud9 is also looking very strong. They had a little bit of hiccups recently, but these guys are very, very strong as well. So our eyes are set on that team, but we don't want to forget the other ones, right? TL and even Fear is looking pretty good recently. I mean, I'm boys with Fear, so it'd be nice to face them in playoffs. We're facing them next week, so that's going to be fun as well. Good matchup.
I was gonna say, besides that matchup and the couple that you mentioned, is there any other outliers? Is there anybody you've been impressed about in ACL so far?
Yeah, I mean, I would say TLC. I believe we're playing them a bit later in the split, right? So we still can bring our form up to even higher standards by then, and hopefully get a 2-0 versus them as well. But TLC would be the main one, as well as Fear.
All right. Now, I do want to ask a little bit more of a personal question for you. What's been your favorite part about coaching this squad and these players this year?
I mean, these guys have more experience, right? We don't necessarily have like fully fresh players here. So what's been fun is that we're able to just talk about the game no matter what, right? If we get a loss or if we get a win in scrims, like no one gets like super tilted, right? So it's just a very nice conversation flow. Like there's a lot less diffusing like tilt and diffusing emotions, and a lot more like let's just talk about league, guys, like let's figure out how we want to play this and how we could have done better. Like it's kind of down to business. But my actual favorite part is that these guys are all memers, you know, like we have an actual blast. Like we can't leak, but if you could hear the comms during scrims or like in between games or even when we're not playing, like we're just having a blast all the time. I don't think there's a single day that goes by without us just dying from laughing, you know. It's so funny. Like these guys are great guys. Love playing, love watching them play and love hanging out with them.
Are we? I might ask for a little bit of a leak here. Is there any rumblings of some poses coming out from you guys? I know we saw the boardroom. That was cool. Is there any poses coming?
We're kind of an in the moment type of team, you know. So it's just kind of an inspiration of the moment. Like the boardroom today, it legit just we're walking out to take the picture of the day, and I think it was XU who's like, we should just have like a picture in the meeting room, and we should just all be sleeping, you know. So that was his idea today.
Hey, shout outs to him. I do want to give you a chance to give some shout outs though. Do you have anybody you want to talk about?
Oh, for sure. I mean, everyone in the org like has been amazing so far. Even the LCS guys, you know, like I can go talk to them whenever I want, like players and Enatron as well, right? But Toby's an amazing manager, Bakery, great GM, all my boys, great job. Like we keep improving, we're gonna keep at it. Shout outs to, I mean, my friends and parents who support me. You know, I'm from Montreal, so it was kind of since last year I've been in LA, and it's been like a pretty big, like life-changing moment. But my friends are always supporting me and talking to me, and when I go back, you know, hang out with them. So shout outs to all my people in Montreal. And I'll just give shout outs to Fear as well. They're my boys as well. And I mean, let's go 2-0 them to next week, you know. But I respect them.
Let's go. Thank you so much, man. It was great hearing from you. I'm going to go ahead and send it off to a small little break. We'll be right back getting ready for our second series.